Manchester United have identified Benjamin Sesko as their ideal number 9 target this summer transfer window. I made a video earlier this summer on the potential targets that Manchester United could bring in to play in the front line beside Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo for the 25-26 season. In the video, I included names like Jean-Philippe Mateta. I included names like Ollie Watkins. And although there were links to those number 9s, it seems as if Manchester United have made up their mind and they want the young Slovenian striker, Benjamin Sesko. Now, obviously, it doesn't seem to be as easy as Manchester United want the player, as well as apparently the player wanting Manchester United. I'm sure you all have seen the reports that Newcastle are also very interested in the player, and now it'll come down to where the player wants to go. There have also been reports that Manchester United are actively looking to move off of Rasmus Højlund this summer, with a few very reputable journalists saying that RB Leipzig would love the idea of Rasmus Højlund going the other way in a transfer that includes Benjamin Sesko. So since these links have intensified, I have spent a lot of time watching Benjamin Sesko tapes. I've been watching a lot of full 90s. I really wanted to get more familiar with his game. How does he help his team when it comes to build-up? What does he look like in transition moments? What does he look like in settled play in the final third? What are his best attributes versus what are his worst attributes? I took a lot of time to really study this player, and I thought, why not drop a video analyzing what I think Benjamin Sesko could bring to Manchester United and why I believe that they are so interested in signing this player. I just have to say thank you so much for all the support over my last couple of videos. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to the channel. I love talking football, and I love hearing what you all have to say in the comments down below. Continue to drop your opinions, even if they're different than mine. Again, that's why I created this channel. I want to hear everyone's opinions, so please continue to do so. If you are liking the content, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on the channel. And remember to hit that bell notification so you never miss an upload. Like I keep saying, the Premier League season is right around the corner, so the content is only going to continue. But enough of that. It's time to grab your favorite choice of beverage, whether it's an espresso, whether it's a coffee, whether it's a tea. Let's dive in to why Manchester United want to bring in Benjamin Sesko. So let's look at the numbers. In the 24-25 season, Benjamin Sesko played 33 matches in the Bundesliga. He scored 13, he assisted 5, he had an XG of 10. And in the Champions League, he played 8 and scored 4. I think the number that stood out to me most was the progressive carries, which when I was watching his matches in full, I think the numbers really connected to what the eye test had to say. So there are a few things I wanted to look at when analyzing Benjamin Sesko, and I wanted to figure out why Manchester United want this player so bad. Well, there were a few things, and we're going to get into the clips soon. But one thing I noticed from the Slovenian striker is he is a very good outlet from goal kicks. As I've mentioned before, we've spoken a lot about Ruben Amorim's build-up methods and his preference to be as vertical and as direct as possible. Well, when I was watching Benjamin Sesko tape, I found that there were a lot of times that when Leipzig were building, they were going long into the channels very similarly to what Ruben Amorim was doing with Viktor Gyökeres, as well as what he was trying to accomplish with Rasmus Højlund. So what I was noticing, and we're getting into the clips, was the ball would go long into Sesko, and he would either bring it down and be comfortable enough to turn and face a defender, or he could connect with one of the 10s around him. And he's just very comfortable because of his size and because of his athleticism. He's a real threat in the air. So I believe what a Benjamin Sesko provides Ruben Amorim in Manchester United is the ability to A, go long from goal kicks into the channel directly and have Sesko create overloads on this side or on this side and play off, and United can build from there. Or what Manchester United also look to do, like we've mentioned before, is the goalkeeper will typically play out to one of his wide center halves. And Sesko has this tendency to drop into these spaces and collect. Again, something Manchester United do often, play into the wide center half, get the ball into the striker, and then they can play off of him and advance the football. Another reason that I think that Manchester United really want to bring in this player is his ability to score in a variety of ways. One of the ways that I don't think Manchester United utilized enough last season, which I think is a big part of a striker's game, is scoring in the air. With the signings of Bryan Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha, both who can very much play as facilitators, there are often times where I think that Manchester United will look like this in settled possessions against a deep block. Bryan Mbeumo in the half space here with Matheus Cunha in the half space here, And Benjamin Sesko just playing on the shoulder of the last man, playing off of the two center halves or the three center halves depending on who the opposition is. He has a knack and a tendency to create separation at the last second and get into those, what I like to call quiet areas of the pitch, and just peel off and score. And how many times have you seen Bryan Mbeumo get the ball in this space, clip a ball into the back post? Sesko, again, with his size and athleticism, is a massive threat in those areas, as well as Matheus Cunha on the other side. You have the wingbacks, who I think are only going to improve when it comes to getting service in from the wide areas. And I think it's going to massively complement Bruno as well. So I think in analyzing a football player, the stats are great, but you also have to watch what he does. So let's go through what exactly Benjamin Sesko will offer Manchester United. So in this clip here, you can see Benjamin Sesko is engaged in a duel with Ryan Gravenberch. Obviously a midfielder in one of the more physical sides in the Premier League. He receives with his back to him, which can be a difficult situation. But in this next clip here, you can see how he spins off of him quite easily, actually. And he has the ability, once again, to progress. He creates that separation, he carries into the space, and then he looks to play the ball into Xavi Simons, who is also running in between Konate and Trent. This can help Manchester United massively again in transition moments. We spoke a little bit about build-up. And again, obviously, Ruben Amorim loves to be direct, loves to go vertical. From Leipzig's build-up here, the goalkeeper goes long. In this still here, you can see Benjamin Sesko has engaged with Konate. Again, a monster center back, very strong, very physical. He holds him off very well, lays the ball off to Xavi Simons. And just like that, Leipzig have completely bypassed Liverpool's press. There was another very interesting part in his game that I noticed when watching Benjamin Sesko, and it's his box movement. Sesko is making you run here to the front post. He's dragging that defender with him. And at the last minute, he changes his run. He creates that separation from the defender. He goes to the back post. It's a great ball in from the fullback, and they score. One thing I noticed about this player is he is not afraid to shoot the ball. Here, he picks up the ball in an underloaded situation. He is essentially 2v1, and he's pretty far away from goal. Well, when I mentioned again with the stats, he's very confident and comfortable carrying the ball progressively. He creates that space for himself. He shoots and he scores from distance. United, I feel like, lacked shots and quality shots last season. I think Benjamin Sesko adds to their goal threat massively, especially with his capability and his willingness to shoot outside the box. And this is what you're looking for in your striker. You see here the midfielder looking to progress the ball to him, and Sesko has created that little bit of separation from him and from the center half. The ball gets to him, he takes a great first touch, very comfortable shooting from distance, and he scores another brilliant goal. In this clip here, for me, it's all about his athleticism. He creates that run into that space, he runs in behind the back line, he stretches them. He has the size and the athleticism to bring the ball down. I mean, just look at him here in this clip. It's incredible that he even manages to bring this ball down. And one thing with Sesko is he's not scared to shoot on either foot. He'll shoot on his right, he'll shoot on his left, and he creates equally as much power on both. Here, again, it's a one touch out of his feet on his left foot, shoots it, scores. So I spoke a little bit earlier about how he can find quiet space. Well, you can see here on the top of the screen, Benjamin Sesko is up against essentially two defenders. He's being pretty closely marked. And again, what we spoke about with Bryan Mbeumo, Matheus Cunha, Bruno Fernandes in those half spaces, he's just waiting for the ball to arrive. He creates that separation, finds that quiet space, gets to the back post, and it's a great header and it's a great finish. Another clip. You see him here in a 2v1 situation, being very closely marked, but he gets behind the defender, which is where you always want to be. Benjamin Sesko continuously finds a way to create separation and score. And it's not just in the air that he's capable of doing this. As you can see here against Bayern Munich, they're in a transition moment. Openda has the ball, and Benjamin Sesko is making that run to the back post. Where in the last second, you can see here that he changes his run to the near post. Openda sees him making that run. The Bayern center half has already stepped too far away to the back post, creates that separation, and he shoots first time and he scores. What's important here is we are seeing a variety of goals from this striker. Another part of his game that I think is quite strong is his transitions, his progressive carries. He's comfortable and he wants to dribble the football. Here, as you can see, he's transitioning. He's very comfortable with carrying and progressing. And it's the subtle things. In these moments, it can be very easy to pass the ball too soon or too late. But what you can see here is he draws in the two defenders for Atletico that are defending the transition. Openda shoots it at the keeper. And instead of Sesko thinking, I've done my job here, I don't need to follow up, he follows up on the missed opportunity. Again, showing his size, his athleticism. He goes and he wins the ball in the air and he scores a goal for his team. A lot of people are probably going to say, okay, but what does he look like against a deeper block? And I think this is the perfect clip to show you what he can do against a block that's defending deep. As you can see here, once again, he's being pretty tightly marked. He makes the run across the center half, opening that space, creating that gap to be able to receive. Again, he finds that quiet space in the 18, has the trickery and the skill set to fake a shot and draw on the defender, makes him commit completely, does brilliantly for a player of his size. I think he is very good when it comes to the technical side of the game, pushes it onto his left. And like I've said before, he's confident shooting on either foot, which I think is very important for a number 9. You don't want your number 9 to be too one-footed. You want him to be able to shoot on either angle. If he goes to the right, he can shoot on the right. If he goes to the left, he can shoot on the left. And once again, he scores a brilliant goal. So in watching a lot of Benjamin Sesko film, I think there are plenty of reasons to be optimistic. I also think when you look at what Victor Gyökeres did under Ruben Amorim, I don't think it's far-fetched to say that Ruben Amorim can really help strikers elevate their game. And look, I completely understand the worries. Like I've spoken about before, Manchester United went big on a youngster from Atalanta, and it clearly hasn't working out, which is why we're talking about the potential of Benjamin Sesko joining Manchester United in the first place. But for me, if the player really wants to join the club, and if management really wants this striker, I think you have to put your trust in them, and I think you have to believe that this is the right signing. I also think it's worth noting that he's going to be playing with 2 Premier League experienced attackers beside him. Bryan Mbeumo scored 20 goals in the Premier League last season. Matheus Cunha is not only a goal threat, but he is also an elite facilitator. It's not like he's going to be playing alongside 2 complete youngsters. I think the burden of him scoring all the goals won't be as much as what it looked like when Rasmus Højlund joined Manchester United. But as always, I want to hear what you have to think. Do you think Benjamin Sesko to Manchester United is the good signing? Do you think it's the right signing? Or do you think there's a striker that Manchester United should bring in that's not Benjamin Sesko? Or do you think that Manchester United should play the 25-26 season with Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee? As always, I really appreciate all the support I've been getting on the channel. It means a lot. Once again, remember to hit that bell notification so you never miss an upload. That is it for this one. I appreciate everyone for watching. I'll catch y'all soon. Until next time, peace.